extremely foggy morning from East Tennessee. Today is obviously a stay-at-home day because, like I said, for the month of January, we're pretty much staying home every day and trying to get some deep cleaning done. But because the weather, like, I can't even remember the last time we actually saw sunshine. Normally only my friends in Alaska deal with this, but like, this is something we've been dealing with right now is there's no sunshine. It's just kind of, the weather is dreary and everybody's tired, and it's really hard to get school and cleaning done whenever everybody's exhausted from just dreary weather making you feel tired. And yeah, so I'm gonna start with some, well, not start, we've already been up for, I've been up for 4 hours, but I've already finished YouTube video editing for today. The kids have already had breakfast. So part of the hashtag Eat at Home challenge that was mostly spearheaded from, as far as I know, from Large Family Love, link down there, was, you know, challenge to eat from at home through the month of January. And I do this challenge with her every year. I don't always tag her, but I do this challenge with her every year since I started following her. And basically it's eat at home. You're not eating out, you're eating at home, and then you're buying mostly just fresh food, which my grocery haul, depending on weather and circumstances this Friday, will either be A, only fresh fresh fruit. Yeah, I need more coffee. That's why I turned the coffee pot on. Or B, I'm gonna do food just from our pantry. But this is also, again, why we stock up in the summertime with like a bunch of meats in the freezer and steamed vegetables, which I keep looking at it now, and I'm actually gonna make some changes when I do my yearly stock up in March. And I don't just stock up in March, but I am gonna make some changes in March to some things. I want to start doing like some more like breads and cheeses and things, because I have found that like we could freeze cheese and do grilled cheese with those, and it would be super easy. And this is my last one. You know what? I'm gonna save that for Matt. I've got the other one instead. So let me get some coffee made, drink a little bit of orange juice, and I'll tell you what we're gonna do today. None of the kids want to be on camera while they're doing school right now, and we respect that, and that's okay. 2 of them are working on ASL together. The other 2 are working on, what are you working on? What are you working on? Literature. And you're working on? Literature. What's your free writing for today? Same one, different one? What's her free writing for today?
We're working together to write a report on birds.
Birds. They're doing a report on birds. Wait, why are you doing a report on birds? That's not for your literature.
Because we want to, and it's school, right?
It is school. So the child who started off doing marine biology for science is also now added like bird watching in, just for fun. That was warm. Oh, that was warm. I just put a spoon that just came out of hot coffee in my mouth. That was a bad idea. But she's been doing bird watching for fun. Birds have been weird in our area lately. So normally we don't have like a lot of migratory birds. Now some birds like from Canada, Alaska will actually migrate down to the southeast and southwest areas. But like, I feel like we're still having more birds than normal this year. It's so weird. So she's been doing a lot of bird watching through the fog. How hard is it through the fog?
No, they don't show up right now.
They're not showing up much right now.
But yesterday we saw a woodpecker.
They did see a woodpecker. A woodpecker, a titmouse.
And this red.
A very, very red cardinal. Like it looked like she took a cardinal. Like it's raw footage. Can I clip it? Put a clip in here?
Oh yeah, sure. Here you go.
They just want me to show you on the camera. So they have an older camera. That was mine like years ago just for picture taking. So it's, I forgot it did that. So this is raw footage straight from her camera. It's an older camera, no editing. Oh, there it goes. Oh, wait. Huh, just kidding. There it is. Like, I thought she had played with some settings on there or something and had like enhanced the color of the bird and then black and white out the background. But no, she didn't. That was raw footage from it. Am I in the way of you watching the video? Okay. So while they're doing that today, and hopefully I'm not going to show her school video in the background because copyright, and January is the worst month for ad revenue for on YouTube. This is my project today. So when we switched the two girls' rooms, the older two were in the bigger room and then the younger two were in the smaller room. The younger two needed more room than the bigger girls did because they have more like toy stuff than the teens did. The teens just needed a space for art supplies. When we pulled everything out, the two themes of things that could not fit back in there. Number one, we do not allow books in there. She's like, no, I don't hear you. We do not allow books in their rooms just because books have been damaged. So we made a rule after after a couple books got damaged, we made a rule, no books in their room. But the two themes of things are actually technically three things. Themes of things that were in their room that wouldn't fit whenever we rearranged their rooms were, number one, Legos, number two, scrapbooking supplies, and number three, board games / puzzles. I've always kept puzzles together with board games, and we couldn't find room to fit them. Well, we did find room to put, this is the entire Lego collection here. We found room to put the Legos in here right against this wall, and then we moved our decorative piano up onto our mantle where our fireplace is. Fireplace doesn't work. We have an electric actual like space heater that looks like a fireplace because our gas powered fireplace, nobody in our area will come and touch it. We can't find anybody that'll come out and do it for any kind of reasonable price that we can afford, so we just haven't been using it. So it doesn't work, so it's like we mostly just use it for decorative. So the piano's over there for now for decorative. Move this over here. But today I really want to get this into our school corner, but that's going to require basically emptying out every bookshelf in my school corner and rearranging, because like the bookshelves that are there have to stay there, and then trying to figure things out. But I have a couple of things up my sleeve of things that I'm going to try to get that rearranged and get everybody's stuff to fit in there. So while the kids start clearing the stove to try a recipe that we found on YouTube, I'll link that video below, I'm going to look at this. So this is the bookshelf that is currently in our office, and it has a lot of our cookbooks and school stuff, and then more school stuff and other stuff that needs sorted, and all the science experiment stuff that we used whenever we had Monarch. But like some of this is kids stuff that could come out of here, which means my stuff could move in here. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do is clean off these shelves, dust them off, and rearrange. As you can see, is already finished. Now these lower shelves, they're not done yet, because this shelf is all my books. There's a couple of big things in here that this is the only shelf that they fit on. But guess what also would probably fit right here? The scrapbooking supplies. So my next goal is to take all of these books right here and move them to the shelf into the office. So now this one is completely cleared off. The goal is to take scrapbooking stuff from over here and put it right there. Yes, there's a blanket on that window. The blinds broke, so that's on our to-do list come February. But right now for January, it's just declutter and try to clear space out before we're ready to put new things in. So this shelf is completely cleared off, and the kids are almost finished with lunch. So let me show you the other shelf again in the office real quick, then we're gonna break for lunch. So here's new shelf in the office. All I did really was, this is my stuff from here over. There was a little bit more gap because I had some of my grandmother's bookends in the shelves where I had my books. And when I took that out, that left room for Matt's taller things right here that need the bigger shelf to go on. So all of mine fit here, and all I did was move Matt's cookbooks down to this shelf right here. This was already on this shelf, and then moved a couple things off there that wasn't supposed to be on that bookshelf in the first place. So just decluttering that shelf allowed me to be able to have access to the full shelf, move his stuff down. His stuff is still in here, but now my stuff that I needed in the office anyways is now in the office. The difficulties of having 3 right-handed, 2 left-handed, and 1 ambidextrous in this house is can openers. Yeah, it's not fun. I made a lunch today, like I said, was inspired by a video I just watched this morning from somebody else who watched one of our videos, so I went and watched one of hers and commented, because I don't do the like for like, sub for sub, and if people like comment on my video and say that, I delete it, because I don't really believe in that process. But like if somebody comes and like actually watches my video, leaves a meaningful comment, I will want to help them out too. And one of the things she put in there was really good advice on her video. So we saw a recipe for she called it turkey or tuna bake, and it wasn't really bake. It, like I said, we made it just like she suggested. So I'm going to link that video for the recipe that she used. We did substitute green beans instead of peas because I can't have peas, but we love the French style green beans, and that worked out really well for that. While they were prepping up the last bit of that, I did move some of these books around. I'll show you what I did. Yes, I am using my corner lamp because the kids have the lights off to go bird watching. So yeah, I left this one empty. What I did was I utilized a trick that the library we used to be able to go to whenever we had two vehicles and could get to the library more often, was if you could stack books that were the exact same, like these Trixie Beldens that were given to us, original prints, I think, from what I've been told. If you can stack them and have more stacked high than they were wide, and this is about like 10 books wide, but I was able to fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I was able to fit 2 more books that way, which cut down on a little bit more bookshelf this way. What I'm thinking of doing though is, this is all the Nancy Drews, this is the Trixie Beldens that didn't fit, and then this is the Nancy Drews. So my other thought is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I might be able to get another stack in here instead if I did it that way and try to fit more. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, and this is going to be a trial and error thing. So my goal is to get all the scrapbooking books here, but we also have scrapbooking stuff. And there's a lot of stuff like cutters and things. And also we haven't even talked about like trying to get the board games over here. I mean, there's also this shelf over here, but like the top shelf has, you know, the top is where their Chromebooks are for their school. The top shelf here is for their electronics bin, which honestly a lot of stuff in here could be moved to a different place, and I'm considering that right now. I don't know, I'm still debating it. This is all of their floppy folders for each subject whenever they actually do write things out by hand for their work. That's where that goes. That is all arts and crafts stuff anyways. So my thought is maybe like move these bins, like this specific row of bins over here to over here if I could fit them, and then try to utilize condensing more space of art, because like these are books for like history, music, science, stuff like that, but try to maybe condense some of this down as well. Maybe rearrange some of the Bible theory, Bible history, Bible study books, and try to condense them down to where I could fit more on those shelves, and then maybe move these onto that shelf. That'll clear it all up. It's all going to be rearranging step by step as we go. So let me play around with this and see if I can get the books cleared out to where I have more than just one shelf. Then I'll start seeing if stuff will fit, and I'll kind of take you through the process. So it's like an hour and a half later. The clip I showed you was the kids are trying a DIY bird feeder with some suggestions of things in it. There's actually a cardinal out there. If it starts showing interest in the bird feeder, I'll go wake them up. But they wanted to go lay down for a nap. It's Wednesday, and just the weather is making everybody tired, and just like, why not take this time right now and just rest our bodies and, you know, get rested up, and then also they can be laying down while, because sometimes I just work better solo anyways, and I probably would have, if they hadn't laid down, I probably would have come and do this. I was watching Dana's video in the background. If they hadn't went and laid down, I probably would have waited until night to do that, because it is just a pain. Oh, there's a bird. It is just a pain to rearrange those books. I have one book that if it moves, all the Bible books will be together, like Bible study, Bible theory, all of those topics, missionary testimony, stuff like that. One book will not fit with the rest of them, and I'm just like, oh, and I'm trying to do some rearranging techniques and stuff and trying to make it work, but I'm gonna go tell her there's a bird in her feeder. and it didn't flip. So, success? A fried chicken lid.
We wash the flower seed. No way! It's like, now how do I get this open? Well, clearly can't get it open in a tree. Congratulations, Pearson.
Bottom two shelves have been cleared. Stuff has kind of been rearranged. There's still some room. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I may move some of I may move that American Girl stuff with, so basically what I have right now is I move like anything kind of hands-on on this shelf. And then these are books from old projects that they have done, but they could still use them to study because basically stuff just recycles and they add more. Like you do American history like 3 to 4 times before a child graduates completes school by graduating high school. Well, complete, you know what I mean, completes like from elementary to high school. They can do world or American history like 4 to 5 times, at least once in middle school, once in high school. So like stuff recycles, so there's stuff there to kind of remind them if they need it. These are just blank spiral ones. Like even when we were switching back, or when we still had like a Becca, like they still weren't using these that fast. So I don't know, they're just kind of there. These are all ASL, which again is why if you saw my video on our semester review, I was like, you know, ASL just kind of happens in our home. So this is Izzy's current one that she's in right now with these two, and then these are our previous ASLs, and then more sign language books that I've had this one for years. This is one that we bought for a kids only class. This was the one that Madeline and I went through for ASL 2. So kind of like it's just like a hodgepodge, but all the Bible ones all are on one bookshelf. So I mean that's progress. And then all the Nancy Drews and Trixie books are together. Trixie Belden books are together. But I want to do more. I want to do more. I would love to have this shelf gone, but I've still got to figure out how to get it over here to blend with that, because I really want like all 3 of those shelves for scrapbooking stuff, and or moving that row of bins over here. And then that lower one is actually mostly like coloring and drawing books, and I may move the drawing books. I don't know. It's still just like I have to physically do it and shift it. I know I could measure and maybe do it, but like visually seeing it is better, because then I can visually say, hey, this goes better here, this goes better here. So, and then like as I'm doing it, the visual like, you know, plans before moving it didn't work out. So now I am moving some things around. But basically this one's going to become all just reading books. I still have several like younger, like I still have books from like when they were in board books and preschool books, because I want them to be able to have those if they ever want to hand them down, or like for ministry purposes later or anything like that. So those are all right there. And then like all of our vast American Girl books down there, and that doesn't even include like the free digital copies that we have. So not like free, they're from a virtual library. They provide them for free. You get to check them out for like 2 to 3 weeks at a time. But I don't know, I kind of just still want to keep moving things and touching things up. I think these 2 shelves are going to stay the same, where all the Nancy Drews and Trixie, basically our mysteries. These are our 2 mystery shelves. So those are probably going to stay the same. But I need to keep moving stuff around and see what we're going to do. Because I mean, I keep thinking I'm done, but then if you like come over here behind the children who are bird watching, and also like there's progress on their pan. It's almost empty. Like they have had quite a few. Yeah, they've had titmouse, there's a woodpecker. I didn't even know we had woodpeckers in the winter. There's 2 cardinals. Just wait, one will come by. Are you sure they're not like completely full by now?
I keep guessing that.
You keep guessing.
Going down and up, down and up.
That has been my favorite wind chime ever. I've had several. That one actually makes noise. You can actually hear it if we were outside. Like inside, unless it's really like going in the wind, you don't hear as much. Oh, there's a bird.
Wait for it. It's a titmouse, so it's gonna grab it.
Come on. It's coming towards it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, the tough titmouse love the almonds.
It's so funny because like it took like 10-20 minutes to get the first one, and then once the first one came, then it was like, oh hey, there's birdseed here, people, or birds. There's birdseed here, family. Actually not birdseed, it's almonds, and they grew sunflowers over the summer. They received one free sunflower seed each from our trip to Tater Valley Nursery, and they actually thrived over the summer. So what happened was when they started to finish their season, Sarah harvested the sunflower seeds, and we've been saving them, and birds like sunflower seeds. So, I mean, they're not like coated or anything. There is a magazine stuck to my foot. But this is still all of the Legos are going to stay here. When everything else is cleaned up around them, they actually look nice and neat and pretty. And then I've got the cool mist humidifier running because everybody's throats are a little dry because it hasn't stopped raining, snowing, sleeting, foggy for days. But for some reason, the inside of the house is dry. So... and we're inside more in January. But like these are all 3 bins are all scrapbooking stuff. And then I started trying to put all the gaming stuff in this little shelf right here. And then I was going to try to figure out where to put that little shelf in the school corner. Number 1, there's no place to put it. Number 2, only the tiny games are fitting in these drawers. So like the National Parks Yahtzee we got from our trip to Cumberland Gap. And then like their Uno Minecraft, and then the States and Capitals, Skippo, stuff like that. And they have puzzles down another one. This one has their checkers, chess, Mancala, and then like their Hungry Hippo, their matching games. And then like still there's a stack of board games like right here. So like I still don't think there's going to be enough room, and I do need to go through these bins and make sure everything is actually getting put away like neatly, which I will show you real quick. We do have a bin that I moved over here at the holidays, where this bin up here next to, this is the kids. When we bought each of the kids a Switch, we also bought them a travel case because we travel. This is all of their loose leaf scrapbook paper, and then this binder right here that's kind of holding them. So there's like some cardboard on this side that keeps it stiff, and then there's like a pack of scrapbook paper here, but it was still leaning over. So I took a binder that had loose leaf school paper in it, like college, it's either College World or Wide World paper, and put it on the other side. It's kind of making the container bow a little bit, but that's okay. I wanted the paper to be straight. There's also like loose cardstock in there because I am personally fine if they choose to do a hands-on activity to go with some of their school stuff. Perfectly okay with that. So that's kind of like right there. Oh, it's a process, but hopefully by the end of the day, we'll be done.